Welcome to Wednesday webinar. So today we're going to be showing highlights from EduTech 2018. Please feel free to ask any questions by using the question box. To expand the question section and type your questions into the question box, and we'll be answering those questions at the end. So the objective of today's webinar is to actually cover what was happening at EduTech. So EduTech from an educator's perspective, and EduTech from Smart's perspective, and what Smart were showing at the EduTech stand, and what you could see when you came over to the Smart stand at EduTech. So some of the perspectives of EduTech are definitely very interesting, and two YouTube videos worth watching, and we'll send you the links at the end of this session, are the video about created by the EduTech team, talking about EduTech, the EduTech conference at the International Convention Centre. This particular video is definitely worth looking at and understanding about how big the EduTech conference is. We actually get a little scan of the floors and the keynotes and the arena, and this is definitely a worthwhile taster of how big EduTech is as the biggest education technology conference in Australia. Another perspective and a video definitely worth watching is Beck, who is a New South Wales classroom teacher, and she went to EduTech, and this is her take on EduTech. She attended Masterclasses, she attended the Plenary and the EXPO floor, and she also did her own TeachMeet. So it's definitely worth having a look at her video. She talks you through all of the key ideas and the big concepts as she attended in the masterclasses. And after she talks you through the attendances that she did at the masterclasses, she does a bit of a scoot around the floor at EduTech. Just waiting for that video to buffer here, just to show you some of the floor around EduTech and also some of the activities and things that Beck took on her perspective of how the stand went. So there's a great maker space that she attended and showing how different objects could move physically within that makerspace. So it's taken us a bit of time for this video to buffer, but if you get to about 12 minutes, then Beck is giving you a little bit of a tour around the EduTech Expo, so you can see the sorts of things that are available to teachers to view around the EduTech floor. So all things from Minecraft to Google Classrooms to Microsoft to Smart. There are lots of things that are viewed in this little video of her walking around and understanding the sorts of technologies that are available. And if you get very much towards the end, we've got robotic teachers and artificial intelligence and lots of people being very interested in all the kinds of activities that were being taken part at the EduTech conference. So I'm just going to scoot around to some of these 3D printing here, and we've got the robots dancing just here. So you get the idea from this little video of all the different sorts of things that were available for you to see if you attended the free expo session of EduTech, and also get a real clear idea of the sorts of products that are being used in classroom education technology products that are being used in classrooms around Australia right now. She also talks to some startup groups and some very well established companies as well. So it's great to go and have a look through this video. It takes about 30 minutes, but worthwhile seeing what was on offer at EduTech from a teacher's perspective. Obviously, we could be following the whole of EduTech via social media, and it's quite interesting, the tweets. So there are obviously 9,939 tweets out there about EduTech, and some really pertinent things that were mentioned. So Beck, who actually created that video just a moment ago, was talking about teachers need to create an environment just like a gardener in which they can thrive. And she loved that concept. There was a lot of talk about artificial intelligence and school computers giving kids digital dementia. And also, artificial intelligence will never replace teachers. So one of the experts actually talked about the transition between AI to HI, artificial intelligence to assist human intelligence, which is quite an interesting concept in there as well. We also had learning coaches and hot desking approaches in libraries. These sorts of things were definitely discussed. NatPlan was mentioned, and us to view NatPlan as a black and white quaint TV. We also had some very high level tweets. So Professor Stephen Haspel was there tweeting, talking about these future schools and learning spaces and how they should be. And he's got a great set of slides there about the sorts of technology and spaces we should be using in the classroom. Julia Gillard was there talking about the skills uncertainty and the skills inequality and the challenges for the future for schools and making sure that our students are actually digitally literate. And obviously we had the Minister Stokes talking about stepping boldly into the future and what a wonderful opportunity EduTech was to take that and understand what was happening. So we, as SMART, were invited by New South Wales DOE to participate in the brekkie with the techie, and we were privileged enough to be part of a short video which covered off to all 2,200 schools in New South Wales DOE could watch this live. And we have Greg and Joe here, and they came and visited us on the stand.
Welcome. So just going to show you the latest from SMART and SMART Technologies and the new smart boards. So lots of new smart boards that look like interactive flat panels right now. And the thing about these interactive flat panels is the ease of use. So most teachers want to walk into a room, they want the smart board to be on, they want to pick up a pen, and they want to write today's date, which is what they can do. Straight away, no powering up, nothing turning it on. If I want to erase it, just like I would with a regular whiteboard, I can do that. And I can write on this infinite canvas in any colour pen I want to, all the way along.
So you get the idea of what we did with Brekkie and the Techie. We had a 10-minute snapshot, and again, that link will be provided at the end of the webinar, just to understanding the few new features of the smart boards and how they look, so you could get a really good idea of how the smart boards looked on the stand and how they operated. So as well as that, we were also fortunate enough to participate in the EduTech Discovery Challenge. So this was where there were around 150 students from regional and remote New South Wales schools that came to EduTech to see what was happening on the stand. And a few vendors were invited to participate in a discovery challenge, to set a small challenge for a group of students for 10 minutes that would visit our stand and participate in a challenge associated with STEM, or critically thinking or creatively working with the products that were on show at EduTech. So we were really excited about our discovery challenge opportunity that we had with our New South Wales DOE students, and we had lots and lots of visitors that came to take part in our discovery challenge. And see, these are some of the students that were on our stand making the most of writing on our smart boards for the discovery challenge. So the challenge itself was involving a large pot of pens. So we had on our table just here a whole heap of different coloured pens, pencils, and all different objects that the students could use their phones to take photographs of and actually send them back to the smartboard. So the challenge, the discovery challenge that we had, was about computational thinking, and what we were asking the students to do was to use the pot of stationery that we had provided to actually create the pattern A, B, C using the pen. So Bella is an example here, and her pattern actually corresponds totally with A, B, C. She used her phone to connect, so she joined my classroom using the class lab activity, and I'll show you how to do this shortly. And then she took a photograph, and from that photograph she was able to make the pattern AABC. The second challenge was she had to use the same pens to now create the pattern ABBC, and which she did. So we talked about how many B's we would have, and so she didn't actually have a blue pen, she actually had a blue marker which she used instead, but it's still the pattern that we could actually show using the pots of stationery. So the students really enjoyed participating in that challenge. Over 250 students from all around New South Wales, over 150 students from all around New South Wales came along and took part in doing some of these activities at different stands around EduTech, and we were fortunate enough to have a significant number of them participating and really enjoying the challenges that we put to them. We also asked the students as they popped by the stand if they could tell us what they thought was the coolest thing that they had seen at EduTech. And we got some really interesting responses from the students here. So obviously some of them said the smart boards, which we were really pleased to hear about. Some of them are saying that they enjoyed the virtual reality. Robot teachers was interesting. So some of them actually thought that was pretty cool to have robot teachers. Virtual reality you mentioned a few times, and robots in pieces. Tesla featured quite highly on the students. They really wanted to understand what Tesla had, and also virtual reality backpacks were the coolest things that the students actually felt that they saw at EduTech. So what was so cool about the smart boards, other than the fact that they could do the digital challenges, which meant that they were able to pick up their phones and answer the question that I had set them as a teacher with their mobile phones, which is why all of the students have in their hands their mobile phones, because they're actually using their phones to take photographs to do and participate in that digital challenge that we've set. So on our stand this year, we actually had the key new boards. So then the first board we had is the new MX series, which just has arrived in Australia just this month, and the MX is our good version of our new smart boards. The next board that we had was the 6000 series, and the 6000 series is our better version of the new smart board. So lots of New South Wales DAT schools actually using the 6000 series boards, and we had our premium or best board on offer with the 7000 series as well on display at the stand, and all the students were using all three boards and testing them out at the stand at EduTech. So the difference in these technologies is this one is infrared technology, this one is actually using DVI-T, which is Smart's patented technology, and this one is using HyperTouch, which is a premium kind of touch experience that is again patented to Smart, but definitely involves some capacitive touch too. We were also showing our Smart Learning Suite and Smart Learning Suite Online, and understanding what we now have with Smart Notebook, the activities that we can use in Smart Response to gamify our lesson, at Smart Lab to gamify our lesson, the Smart Response to actually create formative and summative assessments, and a little taster of Smart Workspaces and collaborating anytime, anywhere. But we were also showing the SLS Online, and this experience of being able to create lessons, resources and activities and send those lessons and resources activities directly to our smart boards. So creating them on our devices and sending them from our phones and from our computers to the smart boards, and sharing them with the smart board and not needing to plug in any devices to our smart boards. We also had on the stand a demonstration of the Smart Notebook Player app, so using our mobile devices where we have our Smart Learning Suite Online profile, and being able to access the Notebook Player app and send lessons and resources to smartboards from our phones, and being able to drive the lesson either from the phone, the iOS phone, or from the smartboard, and being able to interact either way according to the teacher's needs in that particular classroom. And you could have seen that and had that demonstrated on the stand throughout our EduTech, throughout the EduTech 3 days that the conference was running, 2 days that the conference was running. We also had on the stand our Smart Document 550 camera. This camera has full notebook integration, so our usual Smart Notebook page has at the top a little picture of the Smart Notebook camera, so you could actually embed any any document camera activity things straight into Notebook. Has that notebook integration. So anything that we want to view live or perhaps time lapse over time, we can actually do that using the Smart Notebook integration and show artifacts and objects and microscope capacity as well, wirelessly using our document camera that was shown on the stand. As well as the document camera, we actually had the Smart Podium, and the Smart Podium is used definitely in a higher education setting and often used where it's presenting with a large screen behind and the presenter is able to face the audience. But the podium allows the teacher to look at the class and stand in a lectern style presentation mode. The pen is wireless and they're able to use the screen for pinch, zoom, and all of the expected behaviors of a smartboard on a podium device. So our stand this year really showcased all of the new products that we have from Smart and all of the innovations and how we are using the software effectively in the classroom. So before we sign off, I just wanted to check if there were any questions or anybody who had anything that they wanted to discuss further. Anything out there, Crystal?
Hi, Helen. Doesn't look like we've got any questions today, so thanks very much for a thorough session.
Great. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon. Bye.